Do you remember when FIFA used to hit different? When you'd come home after school or wake up early in the cold weekends, make a cup of tea or a cup or a coffee, open your Ultimate Team, and it just didn't feel like you were clocking into a shift at Amazon. When your squad was just vibes. A 10k Brazilian squad with 5-star skillers, a center back who had pace but lacked in defending just because you couldn't afford anyone else. FIFA used to be simple, but it used to be fun. Now, FIFA feels like a chore, a sweaty engineered game attached to the death core, which is not so enjoyable, is it? Today we're talking about how competitive gaming killed the OG FIFA experience and how it all led to this. Now let's rewind for a second. FIFA 12, 13, 14, 15, and we can even jump in and say 16 as well, just hit different. Ultimate Team had a soul. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was fun. You'd build a cheap hybrid team, maybe a sweaty Bundesliga squad, a Premier League team with Benteke and Sturridge dunking on everybody. You'd hop online and just play and vibe. No meta tactics breakdown, no must learn new mechanics, no mandatory daily objective. If you were bad, you were bad. If you were good, you were good. But everybody had fun and they just vibed. There was no pressure to grind, there was no fear of missing out, there was no stress. FIFA was the perfect weekend game where you could just sit back either alone or with your mates and just play. There was no feeling of you feeling behind. But then something suddenly changed. FIFA 17 came and EA introduced Weekend League, which was fantastic by the time. This was probably the best thing EA has ever done, and also the beginning of the downfall for EA. The game slowly started to shift into an esport trap for all of us, because competitive players were pushing the game harder and harder, and EA was like, okay, let's just make the whole game like this. Because trust me, when I tell you this, I absolutely think you will agree, those who have played the 40 games of Weekend League. Playing 15 games now is at least twice more exhausting than playing 40 games in a single weekend back then. And you know why that's the case? Because back then you enjoyed the game, but now it's not enjoyable because the game is in such a bad state for many years now, because the core is completely messed up. And that's the biggest problem. And when the core is messed up in the gameplay, you cannot enjoy it. However, the menus are even worse, and EA messed up even worse with the market, with all the promos, with all the rewards. And at one point, you're sitting there and asking yourself, why am I even playing? But then you realize it's because you just either you are addicted or you miss the OG FIFA experience. Because the rewards became the main motivator for us. And that was never the case back then. When you played FIFA 13, 14, 15, you hopped on Seasons, the game mode that later on became Rivals. And when you win Division 1, you only got 15,000 coins and either one gold, premium gold pack or nothing. I don't remember exactly, but that's it. That's it. You did not want anything. Of course you wanted more, but you did not complain about it. It was just having fun, hopping on and playing. That was it. Now everybody's complaining, oh no, we get only 50k and only these type of packs after having to grind so much and this and that. Why are people complaining? Because they don't like to grind, because they don't enjoy the grinding itself. But back then people enjoyed it. That's why nobody complained that much about the rewards, because you enjoyed the gameplay. Now every match feels like a Champions League final. Every player, every opponent is player locking, skill cancelling, and is using all types of mechanics, and you just need to sweat your balls off for every single second of the game. You cannot just relax and play normally, casually. The game is not made for casuals anymore. And if you're just trying to vibe with your Brazilian team, that's it, you're done because of the meta, because these players don't have the certain playstyles. And this is absurd. You need to follow a certain pattern in order to succeed, which is just not fun. You want to be creative, you want to be expressive with yourself so that you want to achieve something, but nope. You cannot do that unless you're the best player in the world. If you're not, then you're just getting beaten, and where is the fun of it? And as I mentioned, it all comes down to all of the new mechanics. Every single year, EA introduces new stuff such as precision passing, precision shooting. They introduced time finishing, which they removed, player lock, double press, double trigger press, and so on and so on and so on. And while some of them are really good, and I agree they should be in the game, it just feels too much. It just feels too much. It feels too much for the game to handle that. Thus, the broken mechanics. Thus, the game feels absolutely broken. It has never felt like that. There is bounce backs all over the place. DDA has never felt stronger than it is now. FIFA used to be pass, shoot, cross, do a fancy skill move if you'd like, and just have fun. But now you need to utilize everything, which is so much, like skill cancels, player locking, defending in 75 different types of ways, precision shooting, passing, and so on and so on and so on. You cannot just relax casually and play. It's impossible. It's not pick up and play anymore. It's pick up, get destroyed, watch a tutorial, spend 2 hours in the arena, go back, utilize all the mechanics, realize that what the hell am I doing, I'm not having fun, get destroyed again, and then just give up. And then why 1 month into the game, FC25 and FC26 are already 50% off. The game isn't made for casuals anymore, but the casuals are the one that made FIFA huge. And then of course we have to talk about the engine, where the main problem in my opinion is. It's the Hypermotion engine, the so-called game-changing animation engine. Hypermotion was marketed as the big technological leap, more realism, more animations, more authenticity. Instead, it made the game feel heavy, unresponsive, DDA being stronger than ever, unresponsive, and honestly just frustrating. The game constantly hijacks controls from you, the defenders just freeze whenever they feel like, the runs are... I cannot believe how in 2025 the AI is moving worse than in 2015. It just doesn't make sense. And you're introducing a next level AI, which, what next level is that? It feels like we're going downwards instead. Those are bouncing back right to your opponents, and when we have told that they fixed that, they bring it back just 1 month into the new game with all of the 7 patches, which is the worst part ever. And you cannot even blame EA for this, because they said, okay, we're going to listen to the community and we're going to follow what you want. And there is 2 parts of that, which one of them is just a speculation from my side, so I don't want to engage anybody with these words. But the first one that is a fact is that they made 7 patches in 1 month time. They released the game 27th of September was the official release date, 26th of November is the date I am making this video now, and the game has released 7 patches already. What is that going to do? You cannot change something that's completely messed up from the core. You're trying to fix something on top and put layers, whereas the base is completely fucked up. It's trying to desperately fix something that's just not there from the beginning to start with. But that's because they're listening to the community, because the community refuses to adapt. They release a game that's, of course, it's not gonna be perfect. It's going to have its flaws, but people need to learn to adapt, because the game was fun and the game is not fun anymore. My speculation is that EA shadow patches things. You remember one of the patches, they patched the technical dribbling, the R1 speed dribbling, or whatever it's called, speed, I don't know what it's called. And what happened? People complained so much about it. 3 days later, they adjusted it without needing to update the game. They just adjusted it. You logged into the Ultimate Team as if nothing happened. No updates required. Do you understand how many times EA has done this without informing us? How much this has happened? How is AI so strong all of a sudden? How are bounce backs back all of a sudden when they were not here a couple of weeks ago? This is what I mean. This is just a speculation. I don't want to engage anybody with these words. But in my opinion, 7 patches in 1 month just speaks for itself how the whole core is broken. And this is just because of the engine Hypermotion. On top of that, if we don't take a look at the gameplay, we take a look at the menus. Ultimate Team doesn't feel like a game anymore, it feels like a job. There is everyday daily objectives you need to do. There is SBCs you must grind. There is rivals wins you need to go and achieve before Thursday, because otherwise you're gonna fall behind, because the power curve moves so fast, and you're working hard to keep up, because your team gets outdated and outdated and outdated. And nowadays, without the crazy team that you need to have, you cannot be as competitive as those guys that have the full meta teams. It just doesn't work anymore. You're not logging in to have fun anymore. You're logging in to not fall behind. At one point, it becomes like this. And that's what I mean by the constant fear of missing out and the stress that people are having, because when you're logging in not to have fun but not to fall behind, at one point this consumes you, and it's not you who consumes the game, it's the game that consumes you. And what made FIFA special was exactly this freedom that we had. Back in the days, as I told you in the beginning, you could use a Brazilian team, a Premier League team, a Bundesliga team, a La Liga team. They all had very good OP cards. For just 15k you could have scrapped a great team and just had fun with. Or a hybrid team. It was that brilliant. You didn't need to follow certain playstyles in order for you to complete your team. No, you just had to follow the stats, and it felt like stats meant something. They were equal, but now stats don't mean anything. Simplicity that made FIFA magical. The laughs, the chaos, the last minute winners, even the sweaty goals that made us very angry. Do you remember? It was exactly the sweaty goals that made us so pissed off. But this is something that happens in real life so much. Whereas last year, for example, for a reference, we got so pissed off for getting scored on by a 35 yards out Trivela. That can never happen in real life, unless you're like Quaresma. But hey, with control Ashley Cole, I'm gonna score a Trivela from 35 yards out. This is impossible. It's impossible, and that's what pisses us off, because the things that are happening now are way too unrealistic, whereas the things that used to piss us off back then are just things that exist in real life as well, like sweaty goals. FIFA did not need to become an esport. It did not need Hypermotion. It just didn't need more mechanics or more grind. It just needed to stay as it is and just try to adjust the gameplay little by little. A simple football game where you can just relax with your friends, have fun and make memories. But competitive FIFA took over, and the OG FIFA days, I think, are completely over. There is no going back. And yeah, if you miss the old days, please let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about how the game has developed, how it has evolved, and also how the community has evolved. Because there is a lot of new gen that haven't played before, and depending on when you started, be it FIFA 20, 21, how much do you think the game has changed since then up until now? Because what I'm making this video is based on all the way back FIFA 12, 13, which is so many years ago, and it is a big difference. So let me know your thoughts, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace from VN. Peace.